Hello everyone, welcome to day 16th of June Leetcode challenge, and today's question is generate parenthesis. In this question we are given an integer n that signifies the number of valid or well-formed parentheses, and we need to generate all combinations of valid or balanced parentheses of length 2 into n that can be formed out. So let's try and understand it with an example. We are given n equals to 3. That means we have to make 3 valid pairs of balanced parentheses, and we can generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 such combinations and return it as an answer. So without much ado, let's look at the presentation that I have created for this, and let's get started. Generate parenthesis Leetcode 473, and let's try and understand the question once again. In this question we are given an integer value n that signifies the number of balanced parentheses pair that the string should have. For example, here n is given as 3. It should have 3 pairs of balanced parentheses in each possible answer string. So here this is the first one, this becomes the second one, and this becomes the third one. Here this becomes the first one, this becomes the second one, and this becomes the third one. So if you see all these strings, there you'll find 3 pairs of balanced parentheses involved in each answer string. What we can do to solve this question? We can generate all the possibilities using the backtracking approach, and for each generated string we check if it is balanced or not. What would be the time complexity of this approach? The time complexity would be 2 raised to power 2n, because the length of the string would be equal to 2n, and each character in the string can have 2 possibilities, an opening bracket or a closing bracket. Therefore, the complexity to generate all the strings using the backtracking approach becomes 2 raised to power 2n. What is the time complexity to check if it is balanced or not? It would be equal to the length of the string, which would be nothing but k, and k maps to 2n itself. So 2n, because the length would be 6 in case n equals to 3, the length would be 2 in case n equals to 1. So the total complexity becomes 2 raised to power 2n into order of 2n. That is quite alarming, and we should do something about it. If we go by this time complexity, the solution won't pass. How can we optimize it further in order to avoid generation of invalid parentheses? Can something be done in that direction? The answer is yes. While generating the new strings, we'll keep a track of the number of opening brackets that it has, the number of closed bracket that it has, and we will apply some rules in order to abort failure cases or invalid parenthesis cases, and the rules are pretty straightforward and simple. So let's try and understand those rules. If we have the string as something like a single opening bracket, then the opening count is 1, the closing count is 0. That means it's a continuous state. We have not yet a terminal state or an abortion state. If we have a string something like this, where the opening count is 0, the closing count is 1, you'll observe that the close count happens to be greater than the opening count. In those cases, you can never generate a valid parenthesis, because you have an opening bracket, a closing bracket which is of in greater count rather than the opening bracket. So it's an abortion condition. Let's talk about the other 3 cases. We have a single opening bracket and followed by a single closing bracket. The count is 1, 1 each. It's an equal state. So that means we can either continue the process or terminate the process. When will we continue the process and when will we terminate the process? It totally depends on the value of n that we have. If the length of the string turns out to be equal to 2n and both the opening bracket and the closing bracket are equal, we will call it a terminal state. It becomes a terminal state. If the length of the string is not equal to 2n, then we will continue the process so as to generate more possibilities. It's still under process of completion. Let's try and understand whether on the way of generating these strings we'll encounter a failure case ever or not. So let's try from this one. We have an opening bracket, the first character, and the open bracket count is 1, the closed bracket count is 0. Now we add a closing bracket. The open bracket count is 1, the closing bracket count is again 1. So we are good. We never encountered this condition for this. Let's try this for the other type of. We have an opening bracket. The open bracket count is 1, the closing bracket count is 0. Then again comes an opening bracket. The opening bracket count becomes 2, the closing bracket count is 0. Then we have a closing bracket. It gets updated to 1. We have 21, 2, 1. And at last we again have 2, 2. 2 opening brackets followed by 2 closing brackets. Again, closed count is never greater than open count, so we are good. We never encountered an abortion condition on the way. Let's try this for the third string that we have. An open bracket 1 followed by 0 closing bracket. Then again we have a closing bracket, it becomes 1. Then again we have an opening bracket, it becomes 2. Then again we have a closing bracket, it becomes 2. So on this way we never encountered this condition, and as a result of which reached an equal state. We can either continue the process or terminate it depending upon the value of the length and the input n. Let's try and walk through some invalid parenthesis cases. So let's assume we have something like this: an opening bracket followed by 2 closing brackets. So what is let's start the iteration. We got this, and the opening bracket count followed by a closing bracket 1, 0. Then we have a closing bracket, it becomes 1, 1. Then again we have a closing bracket, we got 1, 2. The closing bracket count becomes 2, the opening bracket count is 1, which makes the terminal condition or aborting condition true. Closed is greater than open, and we stop processing for these kind of strings. You can yourself try any invalid parenthesis case and you will see it converges on to this condition at some point in the intermediary steps, and due to which it results to an abortion condition. You don't consider such strings going further. Without much ado, let's look at the coding part, and everything will be crystal clear there. If you are not aware of backtracking, as I told yesterday, please go and visit the combination sum 3 video where I explain backtracking as a general approach. The first thing that I've done here is to define my list variable that will store my answer set, and I initialize it to a new array list of generic type string. Then I recursively invoke the backtracking helper method. It accepts 6 parameters, the first one being the answer set, the second one being a new string builder method. I am using string builder instead of generic strings because string builder is mutable whereas strings are not. So it's always better to go for string builder or string buffers over generic strings because those are immutable, and consider this as an interview tip. So if you are aware of this and if you tell this in the interview process, it adds a brownie point into your bucket. The next parameter is the opening bracket count followed by the closing bracket count and the value of n. So let's talk about the first condition. If my closing count is greater than the opening count, the open count, I abort the process. That's my aborting condition. And if my closing bracket count is equal to the opening bracket count and the length of the string that I am currently witnessing happens to be equal to 2n, I add it to my answer set and abort from there. If my opening bracket count is less than the value of n, that means there are more possibilities to add an opening bracket to the current system, to the current string. I append that string and invoke the backtracking helper method, passing in list the updated string. Opening bracket count got incremented by 1 followed by the closing count and the value of n. And once I'm done with this, As a core basis of backtracking, I have deleted the last character that I appended, which is nothing but an opening bracket. If my close count is less than the opening count, I append a closing bracket to the current string, and I invoke the backtracking helper method, passing the list, the string, the updated string, the opening count, and close count gets incremented by 1 followed by n. And once I'm done with that, I simply delete the last character that I appended. So let's just try this up. Oh, this is closed. Sorry for the typo. Accepted. And you will see that this runs with 100% time efficiency because of using the string builder helper method. I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and comment. Also subscribe to the channel for more updates. See you tomorrow and thanks for watching it. Have a great day ahead.